swimming can be one of life's most pleasurable experiences, but our love of amusement with this seemingly insignificant colorless liquid has always been accompanied by a sense of mystery and in many cases fear. Maybe it's our primordial sense of wariness of the unknown and what lies in the deep below that creates such unease. Or maybe it's the fact that we actually do know what could be lying below the surface and wait. Regardless of our perceptions, there are some places throughout the world that simply are very dangerous to swim in. Some are creations of Mother Nature and others are sadly toxic byproducts of mankind's rapidly and ever-evolving consumerist lifestyle. The following are a selection of the most dangerous places to swim in the world. One. River Nile. Africa experiences some of the hottest temperatures on the planet, so taking advantage of a cool swim in a river or lake might seem like a good idea. It could well be your last though, as these waters are home to one of the largest freshwater predator, the Nile crocodile. These predators use the murky waters of the Nile to lie in wait for their unsuspecting prey. Perhaps that swim doesn't seem so enticing after all. Curious facts about Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles are not fussy when it comes to food. If it's meat they'll eat it in your toes, arms and legs are no exception. So much so that up to 200 people a year are chomped up by these reptilian beasts. Beware. These fine creatures can grow up to 6 meters, 20 feet long. Yes, you read it correctly. That's almost twice the average length of a full-size African elephant. Nile crocs eat fish mostly but will happily gobble up baby hippos, zebras and any other flesh they can get their teeth into. Apart from crocodiles you can get also a nasty bilharzia disease. 2. Queensland, Australia. Australia is home to some of the most incredible marine life on the planet, but one area you may want to avoid exploring is the ocean off the coast of Queensland. These waters are not only home to sharks, saltwater crocodiles and the venomous blue-ringed octopus, they are also the location of one of the deadliest creatures on the planet, the box jellyfish. Certain species of box jellyfish can have tentacles up to 10 feet in length, that contain enough poison to kill a human in 2 to 5 minutes. Sightings of these sea monsters often cause entire beaches to be shut for days at a time in order to protect swimmers. Three. Bolinas Beach, California. While films such as Jaws and Deep Blue Sea may make you petrified to ever go swimming in the sea again, the chances of actually being attacked by a shark are incredibly thin. With that said, taking a dip at Bolinas Beach in California will significantly increase those chances. The beach is part of the Red Triangle and is a hugely popular hunting ground for the greatest predator of all, the great white shark. The sharks are attracted to the area by the large population of sea lions. They can often be spotted even from the shore. Four. Hanakapia Beach, Hawaii. Hawaii may sound like the ideal location for a beach holiday, but one area you should definitely avoid, Hanakapia Beach. The coastline might look peaceful, however once you step in the ocean you are entering the danger zone. Underneath the serene water there are rip currents that can drag you away from the shore. The sign on the beach, picture above, claims more than 80 people have drowned there. I couldn't find any official records of the death toll, but some websites mention that there have been approximately 30 verified cases in the last 50 years. So in terms of proportions it is a big number. For your own safety you should avoid taking a dip there. What is a rip current and how it looks? A rip is a strong, localized, and narrow current of water which moves directly away from the shore. On the Hanakapia Beach it is hard to spot any currents because there are no major reefs that would give visual cues. When people end up in the rip current they start panicking and swim against the current, exhausting themselves and in the end drowning. 5. Amazon Basin, South America. There are many reasons why the Amazon Basin is a dangerous place to swim. The waters are home to the anaconda, the red-bellied piranha and the electric eel, but the main reason to avoid the rivers and lakes of the Amazon Basin is down to a tiny fish called the candiru. The small fish is part of the catfish family and is also known as the toothpick fish or vampire fish. While the candiru may look perfectly harmless from afar, The fish is known to have a tendency for invading human bodily openings, including the urinal tube. Six. New Smyrna Beach, Florida. New Smyrna Beach is famous for its warm climate and great surf, but it also holds another, far more sinister title, the shark attack capital of the world. Since records began, back in 1882, New Smyrna Beach has been a location of over 240 separate shark attacks, and the number is constantly rising. In 2008 alone, an incredible 24 shark bites and attacks were recorded at the beach. Swimmers and surfers constantly come back to the area though, and there seems to be one very good reason for this. Although a huge number of attacks have occurred, so far none of them have actually been fatal. If you want to swim in safety though, New Smyrna Beach is definitely not for you. Seven. Lake Victoria, Africa. One could be forgiven for thinking that Lake Victoria in Africa is a very pleasant and relaxing place to take a swim. Don't be fooled by the calm surroundings and placid water though, as the lake is actually known as the most dangerous body of water in the world. It is estimated that an astounding 5,000 people die in the lake each year. The reasons for the frighteningly high death toll is down to a number of factors. The first is that the lake has a mini climate all of its own, and this can cause extreme changes in weather conditions in a very short period of time. The second is that a huge amount of local people make a living from fishing in the lake, and when the weather changes, these boats often capsize, leaving the passengers stranded, with sometimes miles to swim to the shore in incredibly deep and rough waters. Eight. The Boiling Lake, Dominica. The dangers posed by this body of water are obvious as soon as you hear its name. As the title would suggest, the Boiling Lake is just that, a lake that is constantly boiling thanks to the red-hot magma found below its surface. The lake can often look very inviting, thanks to the steam slowly rising from the surface, but even the water temperature at the lake's edge can reach 82 to 92 degrees Celsius, making any thoughts of a quick swim a very bad idea, unless you want to receive severe burns. 9. Chitoram River, Indonesia. It would be easy to mistake Chitoram River in Indonesia for an actual garbage pit, but, as hard as it is to believe, there is actually water underneath all the rubbish and waste. Some of you might have seen Blue Planet 2 documentary where this river has been mentioned. The stretch of water in West Java is one of the most polluted rivers in the world. It is being used as a floating rubbish dump by over 500 factories that line its banks. Around 500,000 cubic meters of rubbish get thrown away into the river. Perhaps the most worrying detail of all this is the fact that the river is the main source of water for millions of locals who live in the area, with many using it to bathe, clean clothes and even drink from it. The government tried to launch cleaning projects, however, because of poor management and coordination the problem still persists. Lake Karachay, Russia. Lake Karachay may look like a beautiful and pristine place to enjoy a swim, but it could well end up being the last swim you ever take. The lake was used as a dumping ground for nuclear waste until the 1990s, and it is still considered the most radioactive body of water on the planet. The levels were so high at one point that just standing next to the lake for 60 minutes would expose you to 600 Röntgen of radiation. When you consider that most humans would die from 500 Röntgens of radiation over 5 hours, you realize just how dangerous the levels were. Huge concrete blocks have now been placed in the water in an attempt to soak up some of the worst radiation, but Lake Karachay is still one of the most dangerous places to swim on the planet. Wild swimming is becoming popular with people who love escaping crowds and immersing themselves in nature. However, those looking for unbridled wild should always research where they swim beforehand, lest they find themselves in trouble.